All right, all right, all right. What is up, YouTube? What's going on, fellow fantasy people? And of course, what is up, the Catch fam? Man, I am trying to keep paying attention to this Packers and Niners game. Looks like Aaron Rodgers taking a time out. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here, do another late night stream overall, man, because week 3 has been another total mess. I mean, gosh, there's so much we could go over here. I don't even know where to start, man. I did awful in fantasy this week. In my 20-man league, I can still technically win if Aaron Rodgers, or not Aaron Rodgers, if Aaron Jones musters up about 9 points in this last 7 minutes and 36 seconds. So I'm not too sure that's going to happen, but I've had stranger things happen in fantasy. So uh, yeah, man. A lot we got wrong on week 3, or at least I got wrong. I mean, made some of the right calls too as well, man. But this was a crazy week 3. So let's go ahead and go through. I mean, a couple of these matchups just did not look how we thought they were going to look, right? The Ravens at the Lions was a really strange game overall. Hollywood Brown dropped at least 2 touchdowns, right? Really hurt Lamar Jackson's overall stat line. So that was pretty disappointing. Uh, Lamar Jackson really only came out with about 18 points once again. So that was tough. But it is what it is, man. Overall, Tyson Williams had an awful game. Someone who I told you guys to be really, really comfortable starting, right? So it was just a bizarre call, man. I did not see it happening that way. Another player who really struggled this week was Rondell Moore, as well as KJ Osborne. Some, flex players who I felt really confident in overall. And it looks like the 49ers are about to get the ball back as well. So 24-21 right now is Packers and Niners. So this is going to be an interesting finish here overall. But a lot of weird games today, man. This football season as a whole is it's been different to say the least, man. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and let's just let's get our Madden going, and we'll get back into week 3. But while we've got the Niners and Packers going, let's try and pay attention to this as the San Francisco 49ers are coincidentally on our Madden screen, excuse me, and also here with about a 2-yard run from Trey Sermon there. So yeah, I mean, it's been interesting, right? We saw a little bit of action from Trey Lance put in right before the end of the first half on a 4th down play, right? I mean, that was that gave the Niners a ton of momentum. So be interesting to see if the Niners don't win here, if that drum starts to beat a little harder. Maybe Jimmy G is getting a little nervous overall, right? It is hard to say. But Trey Sermon catches the ball here on 2nd and 7. The Packers have looked good in this game, man. Devontae Adams has looked great. When I was gearing up the stream, man, he was running into the injury tent, so that was not good to see. But I think he's all right. He's looked incredible tonight, man. Insane stat line right now for Devontae Adams. So, I mean, but what do you expect, man? That's why he's arguably the best receiver in football right now at the moment, man. So, Jimmy G got hit pretty hard there. But, man, we got a lot of games to get into, man. But I'm going to hold off for a little bit more time, especially while this Niners and Packers game is still going here. So 1st and 10 for the Niners. Jimmy G's been sacked 3 times tonight, 4 hits, 4 hurries off of 34 dropbacks overall. So what is going on the process, bro? I need 1 catch by Devontae Adams to win this week. Yeah, man, if Aaron Jones can muster up 9 points, then I will win as well. So your best bet here is I came down 78-8. Jeez. Your best bet here is for the Niners to stay competitive, right? If they score here or if they get 3 points, then the Rodgers are going to have to turn it back. Or the Rodgers, wow, I literally just called the Packers the Rodgers. The Packers and Aaron Rodgers are going to have to turn things back on here offensively, and they might still have to, even if the Niners don't score here, depending on how much time is left. So hopefully Davante Adams is fine. He looks okay. He looks like he can go back out there and play. So I think he's fine. I don't think the injury is anything to be concerned about, but this game script is where the bigger issue is for you. So that is a sack with a flag down for the Green Bay Packers. Jimmy G, a little wobbly getting up. We don't want to read too much into it, man, but we're just talking about Trey Lance. But yeah, the process. Thanks for coming, tuning in for the live stream, man. Happy to have you here, of course, man. And I hope Davante Adams gets that one more catch for you, man. I was not expecting to win in my 20-man league. Man, I had a tough week overall in fantasy. But I'm still crossing my fingers that Aaron Jones can get like a 76-yard touchdown or something crazy and just get me those 9 points. And I hope he does, and I hope in the process, no pun intended, that Davante Adams gets you that last catch as well. It could certainly happen, man, especially if it's just one catch. I've seen far crazier things happen in fantasy football. So don't be too discouraged. The game is far from over. So 1st and 10 for the Niners after the penalty. Incomplete pass to Deebo Samuel. Gosh, Deebo's looked great today. I mean, I know he's had 1 or 2 drops, but we really missed the mark on Deebo Samuel in terms of the offseason and preseason. And our guy, Brandon Ayuk, finally getting the score. Happy to see Ayuk finally get his first touchdown of the year. I know my co-host Steven had to be happy. I haven't talked to him about it yet, but I know that he had to be happy to see Ayuk get his first score on the season. So 2nd and 10 here for the Niners. Jimmy G dropping back. He fumbles. Oh, my goodness. Wow. And we were just talking about the drum beating for Trey Lance. Holy crap. If Jimmy G really lost that fumble, he did. He lost the game, man. He's arguing that he threw a pass. He is arguing that that should be an incomplete pass. Wow. Dried Ocean. Hey, what is up, man? Hope you are doing fantastic. Happy to have you in the stream tonight, man. Both Payne Barber and Connor did good. So today is a good day for me. I actually thought about you today, man. I really did. I was like looking at Peyton Barber, really when he got his first score, but then also just looking at his overall stat line, I was like, holy cow, he actually showed up, man. I could not believe it. And then, yeah, I was really happy that I recommended rolling with James Conner for you as well, man. So, yeah, I'm really happy that both of those calls worked out for you, man. I know you didn't feel that confident in those, 2 players overall, but I'm happy that they showed out for you, man. I mean, sometimes in fantasy you find friends in odd places, man. So I'm super happy for you, man. Super stoked. James Conner looked actually quite good today, man. So I was happy to see that overall. Really, I was also regretting that I didn't drop or that I didn't draft James Conner at all, man. He looks to be pretty focal in that offense at the moment. The process, I'm sweating bullets right now. Yeah, I would be too, my guy, unfortunately. I don't know if Adams, I mean, after the injury scare, I don't know if they're going to put him back in this game, to be completely truthful. I mean, they're going to try and run this out, right? I mean, Adams always has a chance to get on the field, but after getting kind of banged up, now that I think about it, or no, he's on the field. He's on the field, man. Okay, that's good news. All right, let's see. 1st and 10, handoff to Jones. All we need, man, we need a Jones score, and we need an Adams catch. Those are the 2 things the Catch fam needs right now. And it could happen. It's not crazy. 2nd down here for the Packers, and I will be ecstatic if we see both of those things, man. So I'm sweating too, man. If we get a score from Aaron Jones and I can win in my 20-man league, and I need that dub pretty badly overall, man. So we'll see what happens here, and I hope you get, truly hope you get this catch from Adams as well. All right, so let's see. Another handoff to Jones, and he stumbles down. Third down, man. This could be where the catch is at. No pun intended, man. We need this Davante Adams catch as Jones gets up slow, a little wobbly, but I think he's fine. He's coming off the field. So that's not great for me. So I'm sweating too, man. Yeah, I mean, I still need 7 points. So if I'm not mistaken, the score is 6 points. If he gets the right amount of rushing yards, I could win. It's very unlikely, though. I think one Adams catch is more likely. Aaron Rodgers is calling a timeout to make us sweat even further. So that's great. So yeah, after this game, we'll get into some more Week 3 reactions. I mean, both, as a whole and fantasy specific as well. A lot of weird game scripts today, man. Let's see. Jimmy G's 21 of 32, 182 yards, touchdown, interception. Aaron Rodgers 21 of 27, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. 125.2 QB rating for A-Rod, 77.9 for Jimmy G. Yeah. Can't believe Jimmy G fumbled. But, man, the game is far from over. I mean, San Francisco has all their timeouts. Over 2 minutes and 47 seconds left. It's third down for the Packers. This could be where you see the catch by Davante Adams, man. It truly is. He's looking this way. Back shoulder throw. Oh my gosh, bro. No. Man, we needed that catch. Would have set up a score for Aaron Jones and would have got you the dub, man. And now they have to kick the field goal. And unfortunately, that doesn't result. This is what we need, man. We want them to miss the field goal. And then we want the Niners to drive down the field and kick a field goal, put this thing into overtime. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't think Mason Crosby is going to miss a 38-yard field goal. Yeah, because now, I mean, the Niners would have to score and miss the extra point or go for 2, right? Very unlikely. As he's processed, no. Yeah, man, I had the same reaction, my guy. I was rooting for you all the way there, bro. Fantasy is like that sometimes, man. It's an unbelievable thing. But the game is not over. I mean, technically, if the Packers get the ball, if they get another turnover, they might go aggressive again. Sorry, I was watching the replay. A-Rod is not happy this game, man. I mean, for as many plays as Davante Adams has made, I mean, some of these reactions from Aaron Rodgers after the incomplete passes to Adams is just like, holy cow, man, But Mason Crosby kicking the ball off now, so we'll see how this thing finishes out. Touchback. Yeah, we need a quick Niners score. Yeah, you're not wrong about that. That would be helpful too. I mean, especially when you look at some of the players. I mean, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, right? Mohamed Sanu, even some of these running backs, right? It could happen. It could truly happen. I mean, George Kittle as well. Why not? I mean, if they score, if they score quickly and the Packers get the ball, could definitely see Adams or Aaron Jones get in the mix. So, could definitely happen. bad decision there by Jimmy G, man. I mean, they've done it this year. I'd rather see a Niners score and then miss the extra point, which would be extremely unlikely. But could technically happen. Then we'd have overtime and we wouldn't have to worry as much, man. Hey, man, if you're Jimmy G, you got to prove this right here, man. Trey Lance has come in this game. The fans were going crazy when he did. Fumble the ball on the last drive. He's got it all in front of him. Debo's going to look for a flag. Not going to get it. 3rd and 10 here. Niners have all their timeouts, so if this drive happens fast enough, then the Packers do have to do something. I think Adams' catch would be more realistic than an Aaron Jones score. Just another week where I had Aaron Jones in prime time and needed just a smidge more out of him, just like last week. All right, let's see. 3rd and 10. Jimmy G's dropping back, and a catch by Kittle. He's going. Down a little bit past the 40-yard line. Good play. Calling a timeout, I believe. The Niners are, that is. Big play by George Kittle there, man. He switched the position of the football like 3 times. Yeah, the process says, wow, great play. Yeah, I don't disagree, man. This could help our game script, man. What we really need is we just need the Niners to score, and we need them to miss the extra point, so this goes into overtime. Supersize Senpai, yo, yo, yo. What is up, homie? What is up with you, my guy? Happy to see you in the chat, man. Happy to have you here as always, man. Just kind of a low-key little Sunday night late stream, finishing up the Sunday night game. Then I'm going to hop into just some reactions from today. But if you guys have any, beforehand, that is completely cool as well, as it looks like you have them. But happy to see you as always, my guy. Fields almost cost me this week. Luckily, Matt Stafford and Aaron Jones pulled my robust cheeks out of the fire. LOL. Yeah, man. That's one of the things I got for the day is the way we saw Justin Fields roll out. And didn't look so great, right? Did not look good at all, if I'm being completely honest. And it didn't seem to help out either our guy, David Montgomery, or Allen Robinson. But, I mean, the Browns are pretty good defensively, I guess, right? They looked very good today, to say the least. I mean, I still have some faith left in those guys, but today was not good. Like I said, we got about 2 minutes left in the game. We'll get into some reactions, man. But that's a big one from the day. It's Justin Fields' performance. Man, Aaron Rodgers looks so angry. All the time. But I guess Brady does too, man. I guess it's just in these superhuman quarterbacks, man. Well, Supersize Senpai, I'm glad to see that Matt Stafford and Aaron Jones have saved you, man. Ooh, big collision there. Yeah, so we need process needs 1 catch by Devontae Adams, man, and I still need. I don't think my fantasy need is going to come true. I need like 8 points out of Aaron Jones right now. So yeah, if we were kind of hoping that this game will go into overtime somehow, but the Niners would have to score and miss a extra point. So. Man, what are you doing, Jimmy G? This is like worse than the Super Bowl. 3rd and 10, man. Need a big play here. Supersize Senpai. No, the Niners need to lose. My best friend is Niners fan, and he won't shut up with his delusion of the Niners going to the bowl. LOL. Man, I don't necessarily want them to win. I don't really actually care. I just want some more points put up offensively by Green Bay somehow, for the sake of my fantasy squad and for the sake of our guy, the process. He just needs one catch, one catch by Davante Adams, man. And I don't think there's any way. I think that's more likely than me getting another score by Aaron Jones. All right. Deebo Samuels picks up the first down, a minute 44 and ticking down. The Niners, we want them to score and miss an extra point. Is that likely? No, man, Davante Adams looks not happy. He looks more scared than we are, and he doesn't even know what us fantasy owners are going through right now, man. All right, minute 22 and ticking. First and 10 for the Niners. Complete a pass to Kittle. He's going to strategically stay in bounds. I was going to say, I mean, strategically, you want to keep this clock rolling. And Kittle looked directly out of bounds, and he turned and said, no, sir, I'm staying in bounds. That's a good veteran play, man. Truly, truly was. Wow. I mean, I picked the Packers last night to win this game. Not that it matters, but we'll see what happens here. Jimmy G dropping back. Hushek, he's going to score. He scores. 37 seconds left. The Packers will get the ball back. So that's good news for you, process. I just don't see Aaron Jones even being involved in this game script even more. Wow, man. Big score by Hushek there, man. Yeah, process says missed the extra point. It's so unlikely, but it could happen, man. It could happen. Send this thing into overtime, man. Robbie Gould's a pretty damn good kicker. Oh my gosh, I really thought they were going to block that for a second. I don't know who that was coming off the edge, but I actually really thought they were about to block that pitch. Holy cow, man. I mean, Packers get the ball back. Only way they could win is, well, I guess field goal or if they score, right? So, yeah, sorry, I'm thinking out loud. Of course, that's the only way the two ways they can win. But I would think strategically they would opt to try and kick a field goal, right? Try and get in field goal range. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Niners are celebrating. They have good reason to, but Aaron Rodgers completes enough passes here, and his players get out of bounds quickly enough, and this thing is far from over. So we shall see, man. We shall see. Supersize Senpai. Or no, yeah, Supersize Senpai, sorry. Yeah, the line just really couldn't protect Fields, so he really couldn't do much. I hope next week is better. Yeah, I certainly think it could be better, man. It was a bad start for him today, man. Bad day for the Bears overall, who I think can still be good on the season. But, yeah. Process, he drilled it. Damn, yeah, he really did. I really thought for a split second that had small potential to be blocked. But I don't know. I was just getting hopeful, I think. Supersize Senpai, wow, I can't believe they came back. Yeah, no kidding, man. Packers are lighting it up in the first half, man. Up until that, I mean, I had a strange feeling after that Trey Lance touchdown that we just felt a shift in momentum. But yeah, like I said, this game is still not over. Supersize Senpai, no. Aaron Jones needs to sit. I don't need him to get hurt now that I've won this week. Oh, well. Yeah, man, I can't blame you there. That's fair enough, man. It truly is. I don't want him to get hurt either, man. It's probably not worth it long term for my fantasy squad to see him get hurt. But let's see here. Aaron Rodgers dropping back, 1st and 10. Plenty of time. He throws it all the way downfield to Davante Adams. The process. Yes. Yes, bro. I am so happy for you, man. Let's go. Let's go. You got it, man. Process gets the dub. Live stream's here to call it out. That's what's up, man. I'm so happy for you, my guy. Now, can we just get like 60-yard rush by Aaron Jones? Hey, Aaron Jones is open on that play, man. I'm just kidding. That's what's up, bro. Super Saiyan Senpai says A-Rod is a monster. Yeah, like I said, there is plenty of time, right? This game is far from over. Like I said, Aaron Rodgers completes enough of those, man, and smartly throws it away there. Game's not over, man. 16 seconds left. Dude, I'm so hyped for you, Process. I don't even care if I lose, man. I'm just happy that you're getting the dub. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty upset I'm losing too, man. But I'm happy. What is... Oh, Valdez Scantling is freaking out, man. 3rd and 10, man. Dropping back. Slinging it. Adams gets the catch. They got to spike it. They got to spike it. Holy shit, bro. They're going to get it off. Holy shit. Yeah, Process says Aaron Jones now. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. But it's all good, man. Supersize Senpai, high five, Process. We were winners this week. Yeah, let's go, Catch fam. Y'all got the dub. Let's go. I did lose in both my fantasy leagues. But hey, it's a long season, man. A lot of low scoring affairs in both my fantasy leagues, man. It was another really weird week, but we'll get into it all in a couple minutes here. All right, Niners take a timeout. Man, Mason Crosby is a beast. I don't think he's going to miss this thing. His pregame long was 53 yards. Or up to 61 yards? Oh, no, that works. Basically, he can drill it. Adams did it for you, and Aaron Jones did it for me. High five, bro, from Process. And that first part was from Supersize. Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm happy for y'all. I really am. Truly, truly happy to see the Catch fam get some dubs at any time, man. This is going to be a long year of fantasy, though. I'm telling you guys. There have been a lot of nail biters. There have been a lot of weird plays overall. So, it's going to be a long year. All right. 51-yard field goal. Does Mason Crosby have it in him? He does. Wow. Perfect game by the Packers, man. I mean, you can't piece together better. Is anyone in the league right now better at the 2-minute drill than Aaron Rodgers? What a beautiful team win for the Packers, man. That's what we want out of Sunday Night Football, man. That's what we want to see. When two, elite teams like this go up, man. Beautiful game, man. I guess that's why Aaron Rodgers looks so angry all the damn time, because he knows what he's capable of, man. Wow. Supersize him, yes, my buddy's heart is now broken. LMAO. Robbie Gould and Mason Crosby dapping it up. That game was wild, bro. Wow. I'm kind of speechless, man. I'm just watching these replays. A-Rod went crazy after that kick. So Packers 2-1, and now the Niners 2-1. Did Jimmy G do enough tonight? I guess not, because they lost, right? But was it all his fault? I guess that's the question. Man, the Niners played hard. Niners played really hard football tonight, man. I mean, these are two teams that we could still see down the road potentially, man. Packers just went crazy after that, man. Can you blame them, though? Wow. Great victory, man. Rodgers has every right to be angry. The man is a stud and deserves better. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, man. I don't. I think they're just kind of like putting emphasis on it more, right? So it's like after every like bad player incompletion, they like automatically zoom in on A-Rod's face. And tonight I was like, gosh, he just looks like incredibly angry, man. But yeah, I don't disagree with that statement either. He certainly deserves to have been treated better by the organization. I stand by A-Rod and everything he did in the offseason, man. But yeah, just tonight, like every time I looked up, I just saw like an angry Aaron Rodgers face on my television screen. So that's I guess that's where I'm stemming from at the moment. Anyways, man, let's get into some Week 3 reactions. Beautiful game, man. Beautiful, beautiful game. Yes, I officially lost by 6 points. 6.6 points exactly in my 20-man league. It's a bummer. I mean, really, the only if I just started DJ Chark over Rondell Moore or KJ Osborne, I would have won. Rondell Moore, someone I was really confident in this week, had an awful game. Trevor Lawrence played like crap, was my starting quarterback in my 20-man league. Interesting game, right? The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cardinals, right? Cardinals looked good, don't get me wrong. Still put up 31 points and looked fantastic offensively. But not the best game from Kyler Murray, right? The running game really was what was suited in this game. I mean, Kyler had a rushing touchdown, sure. James Conner had 2 rushing touchdowns, though, and looked very good against a bad Jacksonville Jaguars offense. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. The Cardinals look like the better team, but at times they looked vulnerable defensively, and Kyler didn't have the best day, which is saying a lot because he still had a good day. But if I'm not mistaken, he didn't throw a single passing touchdown, right? He just had the one rushing touchdown, threw an interception, right? It was just kind of the game didn't get going as quickly for the Arizona Cardinals as I expected it to. The Jacksonville Jaguars hung in there at home, a little bit longer than I expected. I guess is the point I'm trying to make. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a strange game. Trevor Lawrence just doesn't look like he. I mean, I know it's early, right? But another 2 interceptions today. I would say one of them was not his fault, right? It was a tipped ball. So I'll give him credit there, right? But now through 3 games for Trevor Lawrence, right? I mean, he actually lost 2 fumbles today, which was not good, right? But outside of that, 7 interceptions to 5 touchdowns through 3 games. Very inconsistent. Week 1, 332 passing yards. Week 2, 118. And then here in Week 3, 219 passing yards. So James Robinson got pretty involved today. Had a really good game. Someone who I had to start my 20-man league, but I wasn't actually very confident in starting and benched him in my 12-man league. 15 rushing attempts, 88 rushing yards, a touchdown, 6 receptions for 46 rushing yards, or 46 receiving yards. So a very good game from James Robinson today. I mean, Christian Kirk and DeAndre Hopkins look good. I know there's a lot of concern around DeAndre Hopkins and his injury and everything. So it was an interesting game overall. DJ Chark looked good. Not all of the Jacksonville Jaguars receivers really had big days, but the offense as a whole just didn't have the best day ever. So that was an interesting game. And yeah, I made the wrong call. I told a lot of people to start Rondell Moore, and he didn't do anything today. Our co-host Steven brought up, did we crown Rondell Moore too early as a, too high or, put too much value in him without seeing a larger sample size? Topic he brought up in Saturday night's live stream. And I don't want to say that's 100% correct, but for the week, that's the way it looks, right? So that was an interesting takeaway from the Cardinals and Jaguars game as a whole. Let's see, Supersized Senpai. If Jimmy G was even a tad better, Niners would have won. If I was the owner, I would be shipping Jimmy G off to Canada to play in the CFL after tonight. Fair enough, man. I know a lot of people who aren't the biggest Jimmy G fans, and that tends to be kind of the knock on him is that he is not necessarily the best game finisher, right? And a lot of people would point to the Super Bowl as a prime example, right? Or the Super Bowl that he lost against the Chiefs, right? So, yeah, that's a tough loss for Jimmy G, especially seeing the way the fans reacted when Trey Lance got in. Jason Kenobi, is Aaron Jones okay? I'm kind of scared. Supersize Senpai says, I was scared too, but I think he's okay. Yeah, I think he's fine, man. But second week in a row where we've seen him get up a little wobbly, but he is a tough player. He is a tough running back. So I expect him to be okay. We'll get reports throughout the week if anything more serious has happened. But I do expect him to be okay as a whole. But glad to see you in the chat, Jason Kenobi. Hope you are doing well, man. Hope you had a good fantasy Sunday. Hope it was better than mine. So let us know how you did today, man. Noah Drontel, I'm up 21.64 points. My opponent has Amari Cooper left. What are my chances looking like in full PPR? Hope you're doing well, man. Happy to see you in the chat, man. Welcome to the catch, of course. Hope you're having a great Sunday. All that good stuff, man. Let's see here. I think you have a good chance to win, man. Don't get me wrong. It's kind of 50-50. I mean, honestly, man, of course, Amari Cooper can put up 20 or more points, but he could also have a stat line closer to 15 points or less. So it's hard to say, man, but I would say your chances aren't awful. They're not great. I would say it's right in the middle, 50-50, man. You're going to be biting your nails all game long, and you can definitely still win. Don't get me wrong. You can 100% definitely still win. So don't sweat it too much, man. All right, let's see. Chase Brown, I'm about to be 0-3 with quarterback Josh Allen, Christian McCaffrey, Ezekiel Elliott, Keenan Allen, Julio Jones, Noah Fant. You got Madison, Panthers, Q. You've got Herbert, Jerry Jeudy, Boyd, Deontay Johnson, Mitchell, Pollard, and Mooney. IDK what to do. IDK what to do to win. Who should I try and trade for? I need lots of help. That's tough, man, because your team is actually pretty good. A lot of injuries that you've dealt with, man. There's been a lot of injuries this year. It's been tough for a lot of people. I mean, the Christian McCaffrey injury is definitely hurting you. And if Ezekiel Elliott is underperforming, then that's going to hurt you as well. I do think he's still good on the season, man. Don't get me wrong. If you started Madison today, that helped you. Deontay Johnson and Jerry Jeudy is and Mitchell. I mean, those are three big injuries, man. That's tough. That's tough. I would try to. I think a running back would help your team the most, but I think any prime receiver could help you as well. Man, if you can try and trade for let's see, I'm gonna have Hubbard next week. Okay, I mean that's gonna help, man. If you can try and trade a couple of those injured players so that your bench depth isn't immediately hurt, to maybe one of the better performing teams in your league, who maybe has a little bit more depth. I mean, I like Tyler Boyd on your bench as well, man. But I mean, it pains me to say if you can ship, Jerry Jeudy and/or Deontay Johnson for an immediate upgrade at this moment, I still think you have a good roster overall. But in terms of what specific player to target, it's going to depend more on what those better teams with high depth in your league are, what players are on the teams with higher depth in your league, and what they're looking at like overall. So it's hard to say, and it pains me, but because you guys know that I love Jerry Jeudy, right? But yeah, it's still early, and it really is still early. I know it's tough starting off 0-3 or 1-2, but man, we still have a lot of time for a lot of these guys to perform, and it's a long season. So I wouldn't panic just yet. Also, you still have a good team and a good core team as well. We'll get more into that here in a bit. The process. All right, man. I gotta get stuff done tomorrow. See you next time, man. Yeah, peace out, brother. Good to have you here as always, man. Always appreciate you jumping in the live stream and being in that live chat, man. Glad you got the dub. Glad we got to experience that together. Evan Harrison, what's up, man? What is going on, brother? Good to see you in the chat as always. Hope you had a great Sunday and a good fantasy Sunday overall. All right, I'm gonna get to Holden's question. Holden, what is going on, man? Hope you are doing well. Happy to have you here at the Catch, man. If you are new, hope you consider subscribing and becoming part of the Catch fam tonight. Let's see here, man. Need Pollard to get 7.4 points in PPR, win or loss. Man, I think you actually have a strong chance to win. I think that's actually the closer to the amount of points I can see Tony Pollard putting up on a consistent basis, right? I think his floor is closer to like 6 to 8 points on a weekly basis, and I think his ceiling is all the way up to about 20 points a week. So I think you have a good shot to win, Holden. I truly do, man. I think that it could certainly happen. And in terms, I mean, I'd put it as a pretty high percentage in terms of your chance to win. So I think you're in a good spot, man, believe it or not. All right, Jason Kenobi, nail biter, up 5.5 with Zeke and Goddard going against Dak and Devonta. Wow. That is a nail biter. That's the only thing I have to say about it. I mean, hey, man, at least it'll make Monday Night Football more interesting for you, right? Let's see. Real Goated. Hey, Catch. Hey, what is going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Always happy to have you in the stream, or one of the most loyal members to the Catch fam. So happy to have you here, as always, my guy. Forma's adopted son. What is going on? Hope you're doing well, man. Welcome to the Catch, man. Hope you're having a great night. Hope you had a good fantasy day today, and hope you consider becoming part of the Catch fam tonight by subscribing. But if not, man, we just appreciate you being here and showing support in the live stream nonetheless. So let's see. Is Chubb and JJ for, let's see, for Cooks and Jacobs? I need a running back better than Chubb and need a wide receiver to replace JJ. So let's see. The main concern there is that Jacobs is hurt, right? So wait, you're getting is Chubb and JJ for Gibson, Cooks, and Jacobs. I actually think that's a pretty good trade overall, right? I mean, the only stipulation, of course, is Josh Jacobs' injury, but that's a nice addition. On top of the trade, right? If you're getting Gibson, Cooks, and Jacobs, I mean, I like Nick Chubb on the season still. I think he's still going to have a very good season overall. But don't get me wrong, man. I think that's a good trade. It's going to give you depth at receiver. I mean, I think Brandon Cooks is going to continue doing what we've seen him do all season long. May not be winning a lot of football games, but I do think from a fantasy perspective, he's very valuable overall, man. So, I think it's actually a pretty good trade, but I still like Nick Chubb on the season. I know he's been frustrating thus far, but I think it's a pretty good trade overall, man, if you're asking me. So I would at least entertain the thought, my guy. Let's see. Evan Harrison. So I played Shepard and he got hurt. LOL. Yeah, that's one of the takes I've been trying to get to here tonight. That's one of the things I got wrong, man. He had an awful game. He was an awful start. He got hurt. It was unfortunate. That's a tough one for a lot of fantasy owners today. A lot of people started him today, man. Giants didn't play exactly how we thought they were going to play, right, man? Week 3 just adds to the curiosity that is the 2021 football season, right? It was another weird week. But Evan, I'm up 29.6 with my opponent having Zeke and Zerline. Do I win? That's a pretty good place to be. I'd be a lot more scared if it was closer to like the 20-point mark, or even honestly the 25-point mark. You definitely still run the risk of losing. But I actually think you're in a pretty good spot. 30 points, right? We'll round up. It's a decent place to be. So you're going to be biting your nails, man. I think you can definitely still win. It's going to depend on how well Zeke plays, of course. I wouldn't be as concerned about Zerline. I see him getting at most 8 to 10 points, right, which is still scary, right? But the way that Zeke has been playing through the first 2 weeks, I think that we're going to see a more median type of game out of him. About 15 points as a good ceiling, right? Don't get me wrong, he can go off any week, so it's definitely going to be close, man, and you're going to be biting your nails all night long. But I think you definitely still have a good shot to hold that victory. So we'll just have to see, man. It's going to be that's going to be a nail biter, my guy. All right, Chase Brown. Should I try buying Hill, or would I give up too much? I do think on the season Hill's going to be a top 5 receiver. So it's hard to argue that you shouldn't. Honestly, man, I think Hill's worth 2 or 3 players. He's going to have these weeks, right? He's had a couple of them lately where he's not putting up a lot of fantasy points, but then he's going to have these stretches where he's just going to have an absurd amount of fantasy points on it, through a consistent couple of weeks. So I don't think you're going to be giving up too much, especially if you're shipping 1 or 2 injured players, man. Real good. I have 74.28, and he has 83.40. I have Zeke left, and he has Dak, and it's projected me to lose, but you never know. Quarterbacks sometimes have bad weeks, so you never know, man. Yeah, that's a great point, man. And I could see tomorrow's game turning a little bit more defensively than I think some people are, anticipating it to be. So, yeah, man, if Dak comes out and has one of those dud games where he's only getting, 10 points or so, we've seen him do it before, and Zeke comes out and scores once or twice, and he's not catching those footballs, he's running them. Yeah, the scenario is always there, guys. Even if you're down 30 points, right, and your opponent has 1 or 2 players, you never know what's going to happen. Someone can get injured, which we never wish for, right? Or 2 players can just have bad games, man. So the scenario in the script is always there, even if it's a little bit less likely. So yeah, man, there's still a chance for you. Don't lose faith. Let's see, Holden. That's in my 16-man league. Started him in flex over Waddle. In my 10-man, my RBs are Henry, Mixon, Saquon, and traded for Zeke. Damn. Yeah, man, I think you got a shot to win still, in your 16-man league. And, yeah, your RBs look great in your 10-man league. Holden, just sub. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that support. It means a lot to the channel, and we are happy to have you here in the live stream tonight, my guys. So if you have any other questions, any other concerns, hit us up, man. We are happy to hear those out. So let's see here. Thoughts on A.J. Brown? Should I try? And this is from Uda. Hope you're doing well, man. Welcome to the catch. Hope you're having a great night. Hope you consider subscribing if you're not already part of the catch fam. But nonetheless, let's get into the question. Thoughts on A.J. Brown? Should I try and trade A.J. and Gibson for Eckler and someone like Gaskin? My other receivers are Thielen, Godwin, and Galladay, and my RB1 is Henry. That's it's a good trade to consider. But I'm gonna have to think on this one. I don't mind trying to trade A.J. Brown. I know he's been underwhelming. He could still go off at the mid part of the season, end of the season, right? But I know he's frustrating to own right now. I don't mind trying to ship him. I still like Gibson on the season, and I think that he showed a lot of good signs today that we had been waiting to see. But if you can get Eckler, I think it's a pretty good trade overall. But it's a tough call. Because the problem is, I like that you have Thielen and Godwin. You're going to start them week in and week out, man. Galladay, I'm still not 100% sold on, but he's not a bad flex option. He still had a solid 10 points in full PPR today, right? And then, if you're getting Gaskin too, and you're getting that depth at running back, right? I mean, he still only had around 10 points today, but I think the value in Eckler, if you think it's going to add enough running back depth to you overall, then I don't think it's going to hurt if that's where your concern is, man. So it's definitely worth thinking about, to say the least. But that's a tough trade, man. I mean, Eckler went off today, man. Don't get me wrong. And he looks very, very good. So I would at least consider it, especially since you have Derrick Henry as well. And then, I mean, the upside there is that you can flex, 2 running backs potentially, or at least flex 1 running back as well, having Gaskin added to to your roster as well. So that's a tough trade. It's pretty jam-packed there. But if you want any further clarification, please let me know, man. Let me know how I can help. As Holden says, standard 100%, no. PPR, I'd lean no, but wouldn't completely side away the possibility. Would lean no, though. Yeah, it's a tough trade to dig through there, right? I think it's more beneficial in PPR than it's going to be in standard. But it's a tough trade call, man. I still think A.J. Brown, when healthy, is going to have a good season. And I think Gibson showed us a lot of what we needed to see today. So PPR might help you in terms of receiving Eckler, as I think Gibson is probably more beneficial in terms of a scoring back. But it's hard to say, man. It's a tough call. But I like where your receivers are outside of the trade right now. Evan, I really do appreciate your input regardless. Yeah, man, we appreciate that, man. Appreciate that feedback. Really does mean a lot to the channel. And yeah, man, I got your back, man. Anytime you have any questions, man, that's what the channel is here for. Chase Brown, if Hill is too much, I could try buying DJ Moore. What would you recommend I give up for either Tyreek or DJ Moore? This is really, if you want that immediate upgrade, man, I think you ship either Deontay Johnson or Jerry Jeudy, because I think they're going to have a similar timeline. And when either one comes back, I view them actually in relatively similar value. So I think you try and ship one of them maybe to a team that's got better depth, right? And outside of that, I think you could put Mitchell on the trading block, as well as Mooney, and even Pollard, right? If it's going to get you an immediate update. I think your bench, I would keep Boyd at the moment, but I think your bench, and I think Pollard's the next best guy, and I would still try to hold on to either Johnson or Jerry Jeudy, but those would be the guys I would consider. And I would consider moving 1 or 2 of them if it's going to be for a value like Hill, for Tyreek Hill. And honestly, man, DJ Moore's strength of schedule is so good on the season that he's a guy that I think is a good trade target right now as well at the receiver position. So, but yeah, I wouldn't give up more than 2 of those guys. And I would try and have a waiver wire player in place that you can pick up immediately who gives you immediate value as well, so you're not missing out on that extra spot also. Jason Kenobi, should I be concerned about Bobby Trees? That's a good question, man. Definitely, I know that today's performance wasn't great. And listen, the Rams looked great today, right? Where I'm sitting with Robert Woods is that his ceiling is looking like 12 points a week. And I think most weeks he's going to be very close to 10 to 12 points on a consistent basis. I think there's going to be some games where the Rams just have everything in front of them, right? I mean, that's really how it felt today, even though the Bucs were hanging in there. And I know it seems like Robert Woods seemed like an afterthought today, but overall, man, I wouldn't be too entirely concerned about Robert Woods. The good aspect of this is that he is still on what some people are claiming is the best team in the NFL. And don't get me wrong, they look incredible. The Rams look like they can compete with anyone offensively and defensively. So I really like where they're at, man. And he is a piece of that offense. So I think he's worth keeping on your fantasy roster, especially in full PPR. That's where he's going to show his most value, right? Is full PPR. So I wouldn't be concerned yet. It's still an early season. There's still plenty of time for the Rams to utilize Robert Woods more, and I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, they've got plenty of offensive weapons. Cooper Kupp is obviously the primary wide receiver one, but overall, man, I wouldn't be concerned just quite yet. Uday, what's up? Thanks, man. I'm playing in PPR and I'm willing to lose out on that trade a bit because I have good receiver depth. Yeah, then that's fine, man. If you've got conviction in the trade as a whole, and you think that it'll bolster your roster immediately, then that's fine, man. I mean, you just have to understand the consequences of trades, and if you're okay with those consequences and you're okay with maybe losing a little bit of value at a particular spot, then I think it's fine, man. So, and you're welcome, by the way, man. Appreciate you being up in the live stream tonight. And if you have any other further questions, please let me know. Jace, should I trade Antonio Brown and Montgomery for Jonathan Taylor? Yeah, Montgomery's one of my takes I was hoping to get to tonight, man. It's a good question. It truly is. I don't mind shipping AB. I don't know how consistent he's going to be this year. I've been considering trying to wheel him at the moment too. But if you're asking me, I think you should hold on to Montgomery and Antonio Brown because I think it's giving you better depth. And I view Jonathan Taylor and David Montgomery in very similar fashion. And I know that Montgomery is a little worrisome right now, and more so to do with the Bears being a little bit worrisome overall. But they had a bad week, man. They get Detroit next week, then they've got Las Vegas and Green Bay, Tampa Bay, San Francisco, and Pittsburgh. So it's a pretty tough stretch, don't get me wrong. But I think that this team is going to have to rely on David Montgomery entirely. So, yeah, I like where David Montgomery is. And I know that the Colts probably look a little bit better overall than the Bears, but I actually view those running backs in similar fashion. And I think, although Antonio Brown may not be consistent, he still gives you that high ceiling capability on a weekly basis, and in terms of PPR, is going to be very valuable throughout the season. So I would hold off, man. I still think it's a pretty small sample size out of Montgomery at the moment, as well as Antonio Brown, and I guess Jonathan Taylor as well. So that's where I would stand on that one. So yeah, let's hop into it, man. Rams at Buccaneers was, I mean, you know, the Bucs put up most of these points towards the end of the football game, right? Matthew Stafford in the LA Rams is like, it's incredible, man. Deshaun Jackson had a 75-yard touchdown today. Cooper Kupp went off. It's like a match made in heaven, man. I like the way this Rams team looks a lot. They look very good defensively. They look like they're up to the task of defending some of the tougher teams in the league. So this is the first game where we saw Tom Brady not play too well, right? And don't get me wrong, man. He still threw. He still had a good game. I mean, he still looked like Brady out there. Don't get me wrong. But this was the first game where the Buccaneers just didn't have that same type of firepower we've seen so far in the league. I mean, Brady still threw for over 400 yards and a touchdown. He got sacked 3 times. He had a rushing touchdown. He had a fumble. But he still played well overall. But overall, it just didn't look like what we've seen earlier in the season thus far. And this is the best defense that Tom Brady's faced so far. So, interesting game overall, man. I believe Mike Evans, yeah, he was like wide open towards the end of the game, and Brady missed a cue there. But yeah, this Rams defense is legit, man. So we'll move on here. Vikings at Seahawks. This was another weird game, right? Dalvin Cook was out. For those of you asking me this morning, should I start Cook or Madison? Should I start Madison in general? I know that was probably relatively frustrating because I was hesitant to give a clear answer, and obviously you should have started Madison, but it was just a hard call to make this morning without knowing for sure, right? The Vikings defense is better than a lot of people are thinking, right? Russell Wilson looked a little uncomfortable today, and the Seahawks looked bad in the second half of this game. So, interesting game. The Seahawks in general just did not really stay in this game. So, kind of, not good for the Seahawks, right? 1-2 right now. And Vikings get their first win today. So, good win for the Vikings. Raiders and Dolphins, man. It's Crip. What is going on, man? Happy to see you in the chat, my guy. Hope you had a great Sunday. Hope you had a good fantasy Sunday as well. Cooper Kupp is goated. I absolutely agree. Jay, start Dak or Hurts. Ooh, I think they're both good starts, but personally, I would start Dak. I think they're both very good starts, though. I think either way they could lead your squad to a dub. So they're both going to have good games, I think. But I would start Dak personally. But don't get me wrong, Jalen Hurts probably going to go off as well tomorrow, and that Cowboys defense looks pretty bad. So I think they're both good starts. So Raiders and Dolphins went to overtime. The brisket, Joby Brissett, went out there, and he was slinging the football around, and I loved it, man. I liked what I saw to Jacoby Brissett. Hung in this football game. The Dolphins hung in this football game in general, man. The Raiders don't seem to care what is thrown at them. They will win anything in any fashion. This Raiders team is the best surprise of the season so far. I had no faith in them in the offseason, and holy cow, they looked great. When the Dolphins looked like they were out of this game, right? They hung back in there. This game was so back and forth, right? 4th and 20 pass from Brissett to Mike Gesicki. Las Vegas does need to get a little bit better in the secondary. Their front seven, right, led by Crosby, looks very good. But overall, the Raiders get the dub. It was a crazy game. It was a lot of fun. And Jacoby Brissett looks okay in Tua's place, man. But ultimately, Raiders end up winning this one. It was a crazy game, crazy overtime game. The brisket ran in there, end of the fourth quarter, dove in there. Does Jacoby look better than Tua? You guys know I was really big on Tua time. Jacoby might be looking a little bit cleaner than our guy Tua, if I'm being honest. Denver Broncos at New York Jets. Denver Broncos are 3-0. The Jets are 0-3, and the score absolutely 100% represented that. The Broncos got the dub today, 26-0. This is how I expected this game to look. I was not surprised. Javonte Williams got his first NFL score. Was super excited to see that in my RB must-start videos. That was one of the topics that I went over. Teddy Bridgewater has been balling out. Love to see what he is doing. Tim Patrick had a good game. Zach Wilson, another it wasn't as bad as last week, but was not a good game today for Zach Wilson by any means. So Von Miller is a guy that is secretly on depth to be Defensive Player of the Year. So I want to bring that up, man. Von Miller is having a very good season very quietly. So this game was not surprising, and I like this Broncos team. I think they are legit, man. And they are one of the more interesting teams. I know it's early in the season, and it's just 3-0. It's nothing to overreact about. But I truthfully think this Broncos team is actually pretty damn good. All right, let's see here. Jason Kenobi, how much would you give up for Cooper Kupp? Whatever you need to, if you really want him on your team. I think he has one of the highest ceilings week in and week out in fantasy football. He is going to be one of the most consistent players in all of fantasy football this whole year. So I think he's a very good player, and if you need to give up a lot, it might be worth it. Kellen Brown, do we buy low on Diggs? Yeah, I would, man. I like where Stephon Diggs is at on the season. I think the Bills are just getting ready to turn up, man. If it's full PPR, I really like where Stephon Diggs is at, and yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea whatsoever. So. Uh, I'm still a big fan of the Buffalo Bills and their offense as a whole, and I'm still a big fan of Stephon Diggs as well. So, yeah, I think buying low is a good plan, man. Uh, I think he's going to be very consistent on the year. So, yeah, I think that's a good plan. Chase Browns. I'm trying to trade for Diggs. So far, offered Julio, Deontay, and Mitchell. Think that is good or too much? You could try getting two players out of that, man. Uh, for me, with trades, if I'm shipping three players, I want to get at least two players. Um, I think you're offering pretty good value for one player, and I think you can at least get at least a mediocre running back or someone else out of that trade, just so you're not giving up too much. So I would try initially trying to add another player to the trade that you receive that you feel pretty good about. Doesn't have to be the best player, but overall, I think the upgrade and the immediate upgrade at receiver is pretty good overall. Uday, Saints or Steelers D? That's a good question, man. Coming up on the week, who are the Saints playing? The Saints have been quietly very good, man. All right, let's see. They got the Giants and then the Washington football team. I actually kind of like both of those matchups because they involve the NFC East. And then let's see here. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's been a little banged up. So have the Saints, though. Pittsburgh's got Green Bay, then Detroit, then Seattle. Honestly, man. Honestly, the Saints. Yeah, Saints right now. Like they're coming up, their upcoming matchups a little bit more. Chris, thoughts on James Robinson's start of a comeback? I hope so, man. That's one of my takeaways today. I truly, truly hope it is a comeback for James Robinson, who I vouched for all offseason and all preseason, man. And yeah, we need him to have the comeback, man. I was happy to see him have a good game today. That was one I did not mention when I was going over that game. Knew I was forgetting something outside of Trevor Lawrence, man. So I certainly hope it is a comeback. Jason Kenobi, would you trade Aaron Jones for him? Ed Script says nope. Keep Aaron. Try DK for Diggs. Keep CD. Oh, that's referring to the next trade. Okay. Sorry. I would keep Aaron Jones, man. I would. As you're saying, nobody would give up Diggs for DK. Someone might, actually. Potentially. Let's see. Kellen, CD and DK for Diggs. Or could I try and fit in DK for Diggs straight up? I just want to make sure I wasn't confusing the two trades here. So CD and DK for Diggs. CD Lamb and DK? Honestly, I think the depth that you're getting out of CD and DK on the season will be more valuable than having just Stephon Diggs. If you're asking me, man. I know DK has been super frustrating. He's someone I vouch for heavily in the offseason, man. But I think the overall depth is something you're going to appreciate more on the season. So that's a tough call, man. And honestly, DK's looked pretty damn good, man. If you can, I would keep DK and CD Lamb. I truly, truly would. As much as I like Stephon Diggs, I think that depth is better than having just Stephon Diggs. All right, let's see here. The LA Chargers for the Kansas City Chiefs, or against the Kansas City Chiefs. Just getting out of trade talk there. Great game. Fantastic game. Joey Bosa played very well in this game, although he was hurt, right? So that was a big takeaway there. Patty Mahomes threw 2 interceptions today. Wasn't exactly you know, the heavy shootout game that some of us were hoping for, but it was a good game. Mike Williams looked really good. That was one of the calls I got absolutely right, man. To allow you guys to start Mike Williams if you have him. He looked very good today. This Kansas City team has some problems in the run game and defensively as well. Are Patty Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce enough to secure victories? Yes, and it looks really good when they are, like in week 1. But we're seeing a little bit of trouble town for the Kansas City Chiefs at the moment. And it's very early, man. It's very, very early to overreact, right? But they are last in the division right now, which is mind-blowing. And the Broncos are 3-0. The Raiders look... Are the Raiders or the Broncos first in that division? And then gosh, such a good division right now, man. Holy cow. So I don't overreact, but this was a great team win by the Chargers, man. And I don't want to overreact, but there's a little bit of trouble brewing in Kansas City right now. Certainly will be an interesting division to keep watching throughout the season. All right, let's see here. Nick Brandon. Okay, but really, what the fuck happened to Rondell Moore? Yeah, that's one of the first takeaways I went over. Not even talking about the game in general, just talking about Rondell Moore. I mean, I basically had him as my flex starter, my flex must starter, right? I must have told at least 20 people to start Rondell Moore. I started him. I felt the pain as well. It was just weird. He had that one handoff in the end zone where he just didn't score. He was down at the 1, and I was like, oh, gosh, even if we just got that, it would at least have made us look somewhat credible, right? But yeah, I was really bummed about that, man. I was. So that is one of the things that I got wrong here. So for those of you who started Rondell Moore based off of my recommendation, I do apologize. But just know I felt your pain as well. It's Crypt. Aaron Jones, so much more valuable. He's top 5 running back. Higbee, Stafford is on fire. Yeah, that's another good connection. As Jason Kenobi, Kupp, in my mind, might just be a top 5 receiver. Yeah, I mean, Stafford to Higbee, Stafford to Kupp, real thing, scary thing. This Rams offense doesn't need a running back. Darrell Henderson didn't play today, right? This Rams team is pretty fucking legit, right? Offensively and defensively, like we talked about. And yeah. As Ed Script says, a top 5 running back more valuable than that at the end of the day. I don't necessarily disagree with that statement, man. I like both of those players a lot, but I wouldn't necessarily trade Aaron Jones for Cooper Kupp. I mean, I would try and make a package deal, for Cooper Kupp. Cleveland Browns and Chicago Bears, we kind of went over this one, man, but Myles Garrett looked like an absolute beast out there. Justin Fields' debut went awful. Odell Beckham looked pretty good today. Baker Mayfield looked okay out there. Nick Chubb had a tougher day than Kareem Hunt did. Kareem Hunt played very, very well. So, weird game, but Justin Fields was pressured on 16 out of 29 dropbacks today, and it showed. And he struggled in his rookie debut, although that Bears offensive line is god-awful. The Cincinnati Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Another game script that didn't go exactly the way that we thought it would. I mean, the Steelers just didn't look like they were in this game at all. Wow, though. Jamar Chase looks like one of the most consistent fantasy football wide receivers. Looks amazing. He's absolutely balling. Ben Roethlisberger looked pretty abysmal today, but Najee Harris had himself a day. And Najee Harris looked very good from a fantasy perspective. But overall, Pittsburgh looked not so great, but offensively. But Najee Harris was targeted like 19 times today. So that was really good to see if you're a Najee Harris owner. The Steelers defense pretty banged up. Joe Mixon looked pretty good out there, although the Steelers defense contained him relatively well. But big takeaway, man, Jamar Chase looks phenomenal. So yeah. So let's see here. Buffalo Bills at the Washington football team. The Bills got up early, and Josh Allen looked absolutely phenomenal today. 32 of 43, 358 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. Didn't have a single sack today. He had a rushing touchdown as well. This is the Josh Allen that we were looking to see. And honestly, man, this Washington football team does not look as good as we thought they were going to look. Washington fought back somewhat, right? Antonio Gibson had that crazy long score. So they hung in there, man. But this is the type of offense that we've expected out of the Buffalo Bills. And it was nice to see it today. I mean, they played very well last week as well. Don't get me wrong. But today felt a little bit more reminiscent to what we got used to seeing last year as a whole. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep up this pace. Stephon Diggs had a good day. Cole Beasley had a good day. And Emmanuel Sanders had a good day. So the Bills' defense is pretty good as well. So let's see here. Nick Brandon, I started him, but I was going to regardless. I believed in him too. He will probably go to the bench next week to see if he can get more targets again. Yeah, I'm with you there. Definitely a tough outing for a lot of fantasy owners, though, because, outside of this channel, he was one of the must-start players that a lot of people had a lot of buzz around. So I know a lot of people felt the pain, but, yeah, I think a lot of people believed in him this week as well. Jason Kenobi, even in PPR. Yeah, like I said, it's a tough decision between number one running back and a number one receiver in terms of PPR, but I like Aaron Jones a lot, and I like Cooper Kupp a lot, so it's a really tough decision overall. It's Crip. Najee with 19 targets made me feel great today, absolutely. Jason Kenobi, yeah, my idea was get Kupp and CEH. If you're just trading Aaron Jones, then I think it's pretty valuable. But you're trading 2 players, and I don't know if I'm still sold on that trade. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I mean, he had the touchdown today, right? So that was good. I mean, he had a good stat line overall. He did have the fumble as well. But, yeah, he looked good today. I mean, 2 receptions, 9 receiving yards, a receiving touchdown, and 100 rushing yards. He had a good day, man. So if you're just trading Aaron Jones, well, I think Aaron Jones is more valuable on the season and more consistent as well. If you're going to keep your Kupp, yeah, it's not the worst trade. Yeah. Nick Brandon, Harris looks like he might be a fantasy star running back. Yeah, that's what we thought in the offseason, man, and I think that he's certainly beginning to show why we did believe that, right? So, yeah, I don't disagree with you at all, man. It's Grip. Do what you got to do, but I couldn't trade Aaron Jones and replace him with CEH. Yeah, I can respect that too, man. And let's see here. Packers are hungry. They sure are. Aaron Rodgers is hungry, man. He's more than hungry, right? Senior Cinnabon, what is going on, man? Happy to see you in the chat. Hope you are doing well. Hope you had a great Sunday and a great fantasy day as well. This week sucked for my first 2 wide receivers with DeAndre Hopkins and A.J. Brown. Yeah, I mean, D-Hop, from a football perspective, looked pretty good out there, right? But from a fantasy perspective, at least in terms of bouncing back from an injury, I mean, still was targeted 6 times in this game, but I think that injury was more at play than people were anticipating. Christian Kirk had the best day out of their receivers, right? And then, yeah, A.J. Brown, a tough day for fantasy owners of A.J. Brown as he barely even played, and now he is listed as questionable. So, yeah, that is tough break, man. But 2 guys that you can't bench, right? So that's tough break, man. Truly is. Sorry to hear that. All right, the Atlanta Falcons at New York Giants. My biggest takeaway is I did not expect the Falcons to win this game, and the Giants are 0-3. And maybe I jumped on the Daniel Jones train a little too hard. So let's see here. That should be... Oh, no, we forgot. Colts and Titans. This was a good game. in terms of watching two divisional opponents, man. I thought this is another game I thought would go very, very differently. I thought this Tennessee Titans secondary was going to just be absolutely atrocious, right? Zach Pascal didn't do anything today. Michael Pittman didn't have as good of a game as I anticipated. And overall, the Colts just looked not entirely in sync, if you're asking me. And they are 0-3, man. So it's a tough break there. Let's see here. So Saints at the Patriots was an interesting game, man. My biggest takeaway here, Mac Jones struggled heavily today. Heavily. Did not expect to see that game go as lopsided as it was. Baltimore Ravens at Detroit Lions, man. Listen, this game was very frustrating. Being a Lamar Jackson owner who needed a big game out of Lamar Jackson. Hollywood Brown was dropping passes like the football was covered in butter or something, man. This was just frustrating. Justin Tucker set the record for longest field goal in NFL history. That was pretty dope to see. But this game, from a fantasy perspective, was very, very, very frustrating. We kind of mentioned this, right? Tyson Williams, someone who was one of my absolute must starts of the week, had an awful game. Didn't do anything today. So those are the takeaways. We got through every game. But, gosh, ended on a bad note, man. That game was really frustrating for me. Let's see here. Jason Kenobi, should I try to buy low on Damian Harris with White's injury? I don't think that's a bad move either. I like where Damian Harris is at on the season, so I think that's a good move to at least consider at the moment. So, yeah, I don't have any beef with that whatsoever, man. Although he had a bad game against the Saints, but and he's got Tampa Bay coming up, a tough matchup. Then he's got Houston, Dallas, the Jets. So he's got some good games sprinkled in there. And later on, Carolina, Cleveland, Arizona, Tennessee. So I still like Damian Harris on the season. I think the injury to White is a good point as well. Let's see. Nick says, I needed 18 points from Davante Adams to win tonight, so he did not disappoint. Yeah. We had a lot of members of the Catch fam who needed some points out of Davante Adams, and that's why you draft a guy like that, man, because he will get you those points when you need them. All right, guys, so I was just trying to hop on and finish out the Sunday night game for you guys and get, kind of a reaction to the week and some of the calls we made in terms of fantasy, right? And so I am going to go ahead and wind down this stream. But I appreciate you guys coming through and being active in the live chat as always and stopping by for the stream. Man, truly does mean a lot. But yeah, I love seeing your guys' fantasy reactions as well. So we'll try and do more of these on Sunday nights, kind of closer to the end of the Sunday night football game, just to see how everyone finished at, and if you guys have questions coming up for Monday night as well, if that's going to affect your final outcome. So I hope this was helpful, guys. Really do appreciate you guys coming through to the live stream, man. We're going to be having a lot more live streams, I think, on this channel, and I think we're going to have Steven, our co-host, pretty heavily involved as well. So lots of things coming, guys. So stay tuned. I appreciate all you guys. Appreciate the Catch fam as always, man. I thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. Hope you guys had a great Sunday. Hope you guys got the fantasy dub. If you did not, man, it is a long season. We have plenty of time left. Do not panic. Do not overreact. I know I said the same thing last week, man, but listen, it is truly a long season. If you are 0-3 or if you are 1-2, it is a long freaking season, guys. We have plenty of time to put in more work, and we have plenty of time to turn it around. So don't overreact and don't get too disappointed. Don't get down in the dumps or anything, man. We have plenty of time to turn our fantasy seasons around. It's Crib. GG. Peace out, my guy Nick Brandon. Thanks, man. Have a great night. Appreciate you, Nick. Hope you have a wonderful night. Rendon Dye just hopped in here. What's up? I barely am winning my league. Barely. If the Dallas kicker gets 11 points, I lose. You definitely still have a shot, man. You'd be biting your nails all game long, but you still got a good shot to win. So happy to see you in the chat, Rendon. Good to see you as always, man, a loyal member of the Catch fam. But we are signing off, unfortunately, as I was just winding down the stream. So as always, man, I do appreciate all you guys. Appreciate the Catch fam. Stay tuned. We have plenty more videos coming up this week, man. But wanted to hop on here and Sunday night with you guys. So as always,